Andrade and Charlotte Flair are definitely up there as one of the WWE's top power couples. The real top power couple that dominated the scene for plenty of years was obviously John Cena and Nikki Bella. Everyone knew about Cena and Nikki, even non-wrestling fans knew about them due to their level of superstardom. Nikki Bella became extremely popular outside of the WWE through social media and other things, such as the hit reality show Total Divas. While John Cena just turned out to be a phenomenal globally known star himself. So they were, no doubt, one of the most popular and well-known couples within the WWE. But since their split, fans and the WWE themselves have been looking for a couple to take over that top couple spot. Originally, the WWE pushed for it to be Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. And that received mixed reactions from fans. Some fans felt that Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch were a bit too overforced by the WWE. Everyone remembers mid-2019, where Michael Cole would always refer to Seth Rollins as Becky Lynch's boyfriend multiple times in a night. They also did the same thing for Becky, calling her Seth Rollins' girlfriend all night long as well. The WWE was really trying to hammer the fact that they were a couple, but some fans just got annoyed after a while because of how it was handled. Becky Lynch had even agreed in an interview over the summer that she thought it was mentioned a bit too much. But the WWE has cooled down now with mentioning everything about Seth and Becky. The new power couple that seems to be on the rise is Charlotte and Andrade. However, they aren't paired together on WWE TV, so their relationship is rarely even mentioned and is just hinted at on television. One mention of the couple on WWE television happened on Raw when Zelina and Andrade were walking to the ring. During this edition of Raw, Zelina was walking down the ramp with Andrade and was cutting a promo that dissed the four horsewomen, Sasha Banks, Bayley, Becky Lynch, and of course Charlotte Flair. Zelina referred to them as the four horseface woman before turning over to Andrade and saying sorry. Zelina saying sorry to Andrade is, of course, a reference to the fact that he is engaged to Charlotte, who happens to be one of the horsewomen that Zelina was dissing. But as far as Charlotte and Andrade being mentioned on WWE television, that's about all we got so far. Fans speculate that it could be a possibility to see Andrade and Charlotte paired together on the WWE television in the future, especially after Zelina and Andrade end their working relationship. The WWE planted the seeds for some tension between Zelina and Andrade, but that story seems to have vanished since Andrade captured the United States Championship. Charlotte and Andrade originally started dating over the last few years, and have even recently got engaged. Charlotte and Andrade took to Twitter and Instagram over the new year to make the announcement to their fans. Charlotte even revealed a really interesting story about one of their very first dates and nights out together. Charlotte revealed that when they first started going out together, they would have to use Google Translate to communicate with each other. For those unaware, Andrade has just recently started to learn and improve his English over the last few years. Spanish is his first language, but Charlotte doesn't know any Spanish, so that was one of the early issues with their relationship. But with the help of modern technology, they were able to work things out, and a year after those first few dates, they're now engaged. However, there is another issue in the relationship, and Andrade was the one that spoke out about the issue with Charlotte. Andrade recently spoke with the New York Post and opened up about the issue that Charlotte puts him through. It's so hard. It's so hard. I like working with her, but it's so hard because it's always competition. I want to enjoy my workout, relax because sometimes I'm tired, sometimes try to sleep late. Sometimes we have 30 minutes for a workout, so sometimes it's a little bad. She's always competition. I say, relax, you just got here. No, it needs more, and she puts more weight, and she puts double the weight. Sometimes she's angry, but it's great. We always fight for who's better. It's good for me. So telling by those comments alone, it's safe to assume Andrade and Charlotte have a very competitive relationship with each other. Maybe not so competitive from Andrade's standpoint, but Charlotte is the one that steps in and motivates him to compete with her. And we can take Andrade's word on this story because there's a lot of evidence on their social media pages. Andrade and Charlotte will both post videos and pictures of them competing and doing multiple things within the gym. And now we have the backstory on why they're both competing hard against each other. But like Andrade said, it's great and helpful for him because Charlotte makes sure he is at the top of his game. Ric Flair even went on record recently to claim that Andrade is quickly inserting himself into the conversation for one of the top 5 best performers in all of the WWE. And we already know what Charlotte represents as well, with being one of the top superstars in all of the WWE, and quickly on her way of holding an all-time record for the most women's championships won by a superstar. But what are your thoughts on this situation between Charlotte and Andrade? Leave your comments, don't forget to subscribe with notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.